Yo, let's go! Wake up!
Wake up! Wake up!
There's a jungle cat in the bathroom!
Okay.
The Drive.
Slingshot engage.
Revving up your morning. Now on the Fan Sports Network.
It is The Drive. What's going on a post-Masters Monday? Greetings, salutations from the Finley Hyundai Studios. Devin, Dixon, and Paul Ratliff in for the morning commute. Thanks for locking us in, loading us up. We are loaded today. Absolutely loaded. NBA playoffs. Matchups are set. We'll dive in. Masters recap. You betcha Rory goes back to back. High school baseball. How's everybody looking? Big softball game tomorrow night. We'll tell you why. And, of course, Major League Baseball keeps cruising. We did get back to the Raceway at Bristol Motor Speedway, one of my favorite tracks on the NASCAR circuit, and so much more. Even recap a Utah Tech series win down at the Bruce Hurst Field. All that coming your way here on a Monday edition of The Drive. Paulie, what's good this morning? How was the weekend? I know you took in a lot of action just like I did. I was probably heavier on the Masters than you were, but it sounds like you actually watched a little bit of Masters this weekend.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I watched a good amount on the Saturday and then a little on Sunday just to see if Rory would close it out. Saw that Cam Young, Scheffler, some other guys were making charges, but he holds them off. And one of the more impressive performances I've seen of fighting off the contenders and just playing your game. And that's what he did, and he wins again.
Here is Rory McIlroy kind of sitting there in the Butler cabin recounting what a week it was as he goes back-to-back. The fourth player ever joining Faldo and Nicholas and Tiger Woods as the fourth PGA golfer to ever go back-to-back in consecutive years in Masters history. Here's Rory.
You know, I don't think I would have believed anyone if they said to me, you know, all you have to do is shoot even par for the weekend and you'll win. I definitely thought I was going to need to go out there and at least shoot a couple of under par scores. But, you know, the course in the afternoon, you know, yesterday the course was gettable pretty much all day. But today the wind was up a little bit. It was gusty. It made things definitely a little more tricky, especially on the back nine. And I just had to hang in there. You know, I did a decent range session last night and tried to figure a couple of things out. And I definitely hit my irons better today. I think I struck the ball better today overall, which was good to see. But I still needed to rely on my short game those last few holes. You know, the up and down on 16 and the up and down on 17 were huge. But yeah, just absolutely delighted to be able to get it done. You know, having a 6-shot lead going into the weekend, it would have been a bitter pill to swallow if I wasn't able to get myself over the finish line.
Yeah, 6-shot lead. Nobody's had that big a lead. It was gone early Sunday. It was gone late Saturday and then continued early Sunday. Cam Young actually had the lead. Paulie, my pick in our fantasy foursome. We were giving some help to our listeners. And by the way, we do have some prizes that we'll hand out tomorrow on the show. We got to finish grading them. We started grading this morning, but we're not through all of the entries yet. But we do have some prizes from the Rev Golf Tour to hook you up with, but we'll get those set in stone and we'll announce those on the show tomorrow. But yeah, Rory, your pick, Paulie, you picked the winner.
Yes.
You know, we had a little snake draft and you had the 3 pick and you know, Tara took DeChambeau, I took Scotty Scheffler, you took Rory McIlroy. Those were the first 3 players off the board and not easy to pick the winner. I mean, usually it is one of the top 12 guys on the tour that does win the Masters. We've seen it before. We've seen the outliers like the Danny Willets that have popped in there and won, the Angel Cabreras, the Mike Weirs. It does happen occasionally where you get a guy that just gets hot for those 4 days.
That's right. And, the teams, I thought that I was going to probably, if Cam Young won, of course, you would have won.
Well, that's Scotty, Cam Young, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Ludwig. Oh, Xander.
Yeah.
Xander.
Scotty, Fitzpatrick, Xander, and Cam Young was your team. Tara was Bryson, John Rahm, Koepka, and Morikawa.
Yeah, Bryson missing the cut killed
her. But I had Rory, Ludwig, Hideki, and Patrick Reed, who all finished pretty well, and Rory won.
I had a couple. I wasn't that far behind you, but
the winner.
I had Solo second. Yeah, which Rory gets what 4.3 million,
whatever, 5 or 3,
4.5 million.
Yeah.
Scotty second, 2.3.
Yeah.
So
it makes it hard.
Yeah.
If you pick the winner, it's over.
Yep.
So.
And Cam Young made 1.8 million, so I had a 2.4 and a 1.8, which is about the same as the winner. But then your other guys pop back ahead of me. Xander did scrap his way into a top 10 finish, though.
Yeah, he did
with a good final round.
Hideki T13, I think Patrick Reed same, both 5 under. So those two kind of helped me stay afloat without the winner. Even if I didn't get Rory, I would have had a fighting chance. But obviously, getting him in the mix makes it real easy to get that W.
Kind of a bittersweet morning for me because I love the Masters and it's in the books. And now we got to wait all the way till next April for it again. We had some big names at the top of the leaderboard: Scotty Scheffler, Justin Rose, again, right there. Another run at it. Justin, the last 2 years, his game has re-energized him, he said. And yeah, Patrick Reed kind of fell apart after a great start to the weekend, but no one expected him to finish as high as he did. Bryson DeChambeau was supposed to contend. He missed the cut. But what a fun weekend. And Rory, after failing to win the Masters for years, and being so close to that career Grand Slam with only Augusta standing in the way, after winning it last year, he goes out and wins it back-to-back. And he talked about, talking to Jack Nicklaus, he kept flying down to Augusta. He took 3 weeks off, and the only golf course he played, he said it kind of felt like his home course, was he would fly out after breakfast, go play a practice round, and then fly home and have dinner with Erica and Poppy after that. So, this guy was all in on trying to go back to back. And look, not a great round Saturday. Very lackluster round on Saturday. But he won the tournament on Thursday and Friday and then just held on. Only shoots 1 under in the final round, but it was enough.
Yeah.
And look, Morikawa was right there.
Yeah. He was like plus 200 to miss the cut. A lot of people were worried about the back.
Yeah.
For him all week. He had been laboring, and people said in the practice rounds he was looking like an old man out there walking around the course. But whatever he did to get his back right to play the way he did, Morikawa, he's a warrior because obviously he was dealing with some injury.
Yeah, shot 69 on Friday and then 68 on Saturday and Sunday, even with a double bogey on 2 on Sunday. Pretty impressive. Jake Knapp got in the mix this year. He has 1 career PGA Tour win. Hasn't won yet in 2026, but he had 5 top 10 finishes in his 7 events played. So 5 out of 7 top 10s to start the year. Just hadn't won, but he's playing some of the best golf of his young career.
Yeah.
So he was kind of there. Of course, there was some struggles out on the course. We saw some guys get reprimanded. We saw Calcavecchia get booted off the grounds for using his cell phone. We saw Sergio get a player conduct warning. We saw Bob McIntyre take heat for flipping off the green.
It's a little everything.
Yeah, Sergio, he was pounding the tee box with his driver several times. He smashes it against the coolers. He walks off the tee box. He broke his driver in the process. Yeah. So he had to play the rest of his round without it. Kind of looked like a sore loser, to be honest with you. But inappropriate behavior. McIntyre had only 1 birdie in his first round 80. In the middle of the round, he fired off the other bird. I think he was on the par 5 15th, if I'm not mistaken. It rolls off the front of the green, goes down into the water, and he basically does the 1-finger salute in frustration.
Like that.
He eventually carded a quadruple bogey 9.
Wow.
Then he refused to speak to reporters after signing for an 80. doubled down on his disgust, posting on Instagram a story with AI depicting him as one of the famed master gnomes holding up the middle bird.
Oh, wow. Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
Oh yeah. Oh, have you not seen the memes? Have you not
Okay.
seen? Have you not been on social media? I must follow a lot more golf.
Accounts.
Yeah.
But, for as little golf as I watch, Fantasy Foursome Takedown winner. What's the prize? We didn't set a prize.
No, we were just trying to help our listeners.
Okay.
What do you want me to? I'm not going to backtrack and all of a sudden come up with a prize.
Yeah, maybe a breakfast or something.
Pat yourself, Paulie. Go ahead, pat yourself,
Yeah,
Paulie.
I am.
He's patting
Pat
himself. There he is.
There
Got to
it
live up
is.
to that
I
other
got it.
nickname, one of many. Pat yourself.
I barely know
Paulie.
any golf, and I win the pool. How about that?
You picked Rory.
Yeah.
I mean, you
How
know enough
about
to
it?
pick Rory. I mean, only the fourth player ever to go back to back.
Yes.
I didn't pick Rory.
Yes.
I thought somebody else might pop. I mean, I knew he had a chance. He'd won it last year. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw what the odds were. It's just I did not. I thought I had. You know who I really had a dark horse on that I loved was Russell Henley.
The
If
hen dog,
Russell
yeah.
Henley would have won, oh boy, then I would have given you a prize.
Yeah, I know. You probably would have been
170
a
to
little more.
1 prize there.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was right there.
He was fighting.
He was right
I
there.
like that.
I mean, shot a nice little final round. I thought the bogey on 12 kind of derailed him. A lot of, you're just a hole you need to make par on.
Speaking of derailing, I will not be soliciting Dutchie for any more golf picks after this performance he gave
He
out.
talked you into Minwoo Lee.
Minwoo Lee. Yep.
You know, Min's had some good Masters finishes.
Yeah, but he was horrific.
I wasn't bullish on Minwoo, but he is good at this course, and he just had an off. And that's the thing about golf. You are your own brand, and if you're not feeling good or you're just not swinging it well,
You said
you're out.
this many a times. You can't play yourself out of the tournament on the first day, most of the time. You can have a bad score or whatever.
You can't win it till Sunday.
Can't win it till Sunday.
But you certainly lose it.
But you can lose it. And
he
Minwoo lost.
Yeah, I think he shot like 78, 77 the first two rounds.
It was
like
horrific.
11 over par and didn't even sniff the cut.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was disappointing.
I mean, a lot of people will say Cam Young let this one slip away, and we've seen Cam really close in majors. I think he's got two top 3 finishes in majors.
Yeah.
Eagled the last hole at the Open Championship to take second at the Old Course a couple years ago, where he drove the 18th green and made the eagle putt. But this is a guy that has a bigger pause on the top of his swing than Matsuyama does. And there was a moment there where he had the lead late in the day, but he going to the back 9, when he birdied 8, I thought, okay, he's got the lead. And Rory had made a mess of things. Rory had kind of chopped up 4. I think it was Ford and Rory double bogey 4. And so, you go from the tie for the lead and to Cam Young right there in the middle of the front 9. He has the outright lead. And unfortunately for Cam Young, even with, birdies on 6 and 7, or he bogeys 6 and 7, birdies 8, bogeys 9. And then on the back 9, when Cam Young needs some magic, didn't have any, parred every single hole on the back 9. Tough to go win the Masters when you're just making pars. Especially with 13 the par 5, 15 the par 5, you need to make birdies on those 2 holes. Now Rory got the bonus birdie on 12, then turn around birdie 13. He did not birdie 15, and actually that shot he hit on off the tee on 18, everybody kind of went, whoa, maybe this is not over. Could Scotty slip into a playoff if Rory makes double bogey? Able to find his ball way out in the pine straw, way right in the trees, hook an 8-iron back into play. Get it up there to where he could make bogey. He had a 6-inch putt for bogey to win, and he made it. He wasn't going to miss that short of a putt, and Rory goes back to back.
Yeah.
He didn't make it easy. He could have made it really easy if he would have shot 68 or 69 on Saturday.
Yeah.
But the expression on his face is he walks up to the ball that's so right of the 18th fairway, was nearly on the 10th hole, and he kind of shook his head and he took a deep sigh, and you're thinking about that 6-shot lead, and Rory Rory able to find his ball. I bet the walk, not knowing where his ball was from the 18th tee all the way into the right pine straw was very nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
To say the least. And, I liked Rory. He shout out to his mom and dad, said he owed them everything, wonderful parents. He said, if I can be half the parent to Papa you were to me, then I've done a good job. It was emotional. I was happy for Rory. Really ended up being a great Masters. And he's a great champion. And if you ask 9 out of 10 golfers who has the best looking swing with the driver in the world, I think 9 to 10 people would say Rory McIlroy. But his driver was not there all week. He finally got it straightened out a little bit on Sunday.
Yeah.
Especially like on 13, where he'd made a mess at 13 and hadn't hit the fairway all week. He stayed aggressive, whereas in past years we've seen him, try to hit a 3-wood and get a little conservative and hook it and get out of position. He stayed aggressive, and that would have been the best drive he hit all week. And he birdied 13. Wasn't his best. Probably 8-iron in. But able to get it to about 10 feet and roll the uphill putt in. And kind of that moment when you birdied 13, you're like, okay, Rory's the guy to beat now.
Yeah.
And everybody on call sheet was going, better sell. So,
Call sheet. Is that really a thing?
I don't know.
I see them all over
so.
social media,
Yeah.
but I just don't know how popular that service is.
Well, I think a lot of people use it in Utah because it's predicting the market of who will win.
Yes.
And it's basically legalized gambling. There's always a loophole, right?
There's loopholes, yes.
I think Robinhood did the same thing, right?
Yeah. DraftKings predictions is sprouted up. FanDuel predictions is sprouted up.
Yep. So we are off and running. Certainly, watched wire-to-wire coverage. I had to go to the store, but my phone actually died yesterday, Paulie, because I was watching so much golf on my phone. I had to run do some errands, so I've got the Masters on my phone. Got home, was watching, cleaned up a little bit, went over to a friend's house and watched the round there. Had a little pitch and putt contest, and it was a great day. Hope you enjoyed the Masters. Again, if you got in our text line fantasy foursome, we will announce the winners for that on social media later today, and we'll announce them on the show live tomorrow. Still got to finish double checking all the calculations and make sure we got everything dialed in, and we'll get your prizes to you for the top 3. Off and running. It's The Drive. Glad you're with us. Quick break. When we come back, we do it on a Monday. We do it every Monday. Big deal, no big deal. Coming up next.
Now on the Fan Sports Network. Ready, set, let's roll.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's The Drive. Good morning, Devin Dixon, Paulie Ratliff. Thank you for locking us in, loading us up here on the Fan Sports Network on a Monday. A Monday fun day, right, Paulie?
Yes, every Monday.
Show today brought to you by Coral Canyon Golf Course. Coral Canyon inviting you to get out and play. The course is fantastic. It is dialed in. Oh, my goodness. If you're not out swinging the sticks this time of year with this great weather we had after watching the Masters all weekend, go play Coral Canyon. They were festive this weekend, too. They had Masters banners up and a bunch of things going on over there, and the fun continues out there at Coral Canyon. Get your tee times, coralcanyongolf.com, or call 688-1700. That's 435-688-1700, and tell them you won't tear up the turf like Paul Ratliff. Paulie, are you ready for some big deal, no big deal? On a Monday. We only do this once a week, buddy. Let's lock in.
The weekend's over. Shake off that hangover.
How much have you had to drink, man?
Oh, how much have I had to drink? What are you talking about, Willis?
If you missed anything, we got you.
What, is this some kind of joke?
It's time for Big Deal.
I'm kind of a big deal.
No big deal.
Nobody cares, Sean.
Nobody cares.
Right now.
All right, let's go. Again, brought to you by Coral Canyon Golf Course. Paulie, you got the questions, and let's get to some of the answers.
All right. How about this? As portal season is underway, and Utah Tech secures its first commitment in this phase of the portal with its pledge from Valpo guard Mark Brown, who had 2 games of 15 points last season. Big deal, no big deal. Utah Tech getting their first player in the portal for next season.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to start grabbing guys. It's nice to get a couple commits early after the portal opens. There's so many players. I mean, you got hundreds of guys from each conference in the portal right now.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you haven't heard or seen for Utah Tech, there's a lot more guys outgoing than incoming right now. In the portal, Chance Trujillo, Samuel Uribe, Tanner Davis, Hunter Shank, Marvell Allen, who never played a lick, Ethan Potter, if he gets another year of eligibility, and Noah Belonga. Those guys are all in the portal. So to get Mark Brown and get your first big commit, because you have 7 guys that you were hoping maybe 3 or 4 would come back, especially like a Tanner Davis and a Trujillo. You better start getting some additions before other people sign those guys. I mean,
got to restock the cupboard.
They don't have as many people going into the portal as, say, a Weaver State. About the same as Utah State, about the same as Utah outgoing. I think BYU's got 6 or 7 going out as well.
Yes.
The team in the state that has the least amount of guys in the portal is Utah Valley.
Oh, I would have said State.
No, Utah Valley only has Jackson Holcomb, Trevon Leonhardt, Tyler Hendricks.
Yeah.
Because his brother got traded from the Jazz. And then A.J. Riggs. So only 4 guys that I've seen in the portal.
I've heard Holcomb was at the University of Utah as of this weekend, so could be moving on for him too. But this Valpo guard, Mark Brown, it's a good get, I think. I mean, this is a guy that played at a higher level of competition at Valpo. He had 2 games of 15 points or more. He didn't really play a ton, as far as total minutes throughout the season. But he did contribute, and he comes by way of where would you think?
I don't think he's an in-state Utah kid, is he?
He's not. He's a Phoenix, Arizona guy.
Okay, so want to get closer to home, probably.
Yes, but he did play 2 seasons at Snow College. So that's the connection here. He was a Bella Vista Prep, one of the top prep schools in the country, then to Snow College, then to Valpo, now to Utah Tech. So well-traveled, but could be a good diamond-in-the-rough type recruit here for John Judkins.
Yeah, absolutely. Proof is in the pudding. Right now, I would say, hey, there's a lot of guys in the portal. You got to start grabbing guys. The first one's always a big one. But if you want me to go out and say, hey, big deal, before I've even seen this kid on campus or play and how he fits, that's a little bit of a stretch for me. So I'm going to go no big deal, but it feels like a big deal. Does that make any sense at all, Paulie?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because at the end of the day, this guy probably will be playing significant minutes for Utah Tech next season. So get to know Valpo transfer Mark Brown.
All right, where are we going next?
All right, the NBA playoff bracket is set, featuring some solid first-round matchups and some storylines heading into the opening round of the NBA playoffs. You've got some great matchups. You got some newcomers to the scene, which is nice. And the play-in tournament going to get going here pretty soon, I feel like. When is the play-in tournament? I didn't
Charge
check.
tomorrow.
Charge tomorrow. All right. So
You got that Portland game tomorrow against is it Phoenix? Don't they have Phoenix?
Yes, 8-7 matchup. So that should be a good one. I really like what they're doing in Portland. Donovan Clingan, Scoot Henderson. I'm kind of excited for that young team to make their playoff debut, as well as the Hornets. LaMelo Ball, the star in Charlotte. They make the playoffs, make the field as the 9 seed in the play-in bracket. So some new faces. I mean, I think that's what I like to see is some new teams. It's cool to see the Thunder win the championship, the Bucks, some of the teams in the past years. I feel like we got into that Lakers-Warriors repeat over and over for years, but what the NBA is trotting out now is different champions pretty much every year, which is fun for the fans.
Yeah, feels wide open, but a little bit messy this year. I've been just pinch me when the playoffs start. I've been just get me to the postseason. I mean, the Jazz season. I mean, with their loss to the Lakers, they secure the 4th worst record in the NBA. There's 8 teams in the NBA that had a winning percentage less than .333 for the first time ever. The tanking was a real deal.
Yes.
I also feel like there's no overwhelming super team this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Say the Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, they're the defending champs, so they're the favorites.
Yes.
Boston's intriguing. The Knicks were supposed to be better.
I think the most intriguing team of the entire
Detroit's
playoffs is
a surprise
Detroit.
1
Yes.
seed.
I think that's the biggest,
Well, but people are skeptical. They want to see them prove it in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, yes, it's a surprise 1 seed, but can you back it up with the playoff run? The West seems chaotic. Denver, Lakers, Rockets, all in the mix. There doesn't seem to be a consensus favorite other than OKC. But even like Wemby and the Spurs are really interesting.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's crazy to see a team like that make it out of the West. I don't think so. That to me is intriguing. A lot of teams are saying, why not us right now? And there's underdog optimism everywhere. Less pressure, the better. Nobody's trusting matchups. Injuries are a concern.
Yeah.
Might be one of the more unpredictable playoffs we've had in years. So, but somebody's going to rise up and somebody's going to win it. I'm going to say NBA playoffs finally here is a big deal because it's largely been unwatchable for me for most of the year. I'll catch a game or two that's a marquee matchup on the networks if I'm surfing. But now that the playoffs are here, I'll be a lot more interested. And part of that's the Jazz fault. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The Jazz sucked this year.
Yes.
And I've been a huge fan of Jazz content on the show, and I'm just out of patience with the Utah Jazz. And I know that's hard for Jazz fans to swallow, but you got to be feeling the same way. It's only a natural progression. The Jazz have not been good for years. When you show up to the arena, they are getting pounded. And when you're winning 20 games and losing 62, it's just not fun. Nobody wants to watch 20 wins. It's not exciting.
Yeah.
And so I blame a little bit of my lackluster regular season on an unwatchable product in the Utah Jazz. And look, give me interesting, give me intriguing, but this team was not interesting. This team was not intriguing. The only thing, Paulie, that you could really kind of hang your hat on watching Jazz basketball was player development. And even that was not happening most nights because they were sitting those players too. The Jazz won 2 games ago with 7 players on their active roster and 2 guys got triple doubles. Whoopsie.
Yeah.
I don't think they were planning on winning that game.
Probably not. Yeah.
But this is going to be an unpredictable playoff race. I'm all fired up. Bring on the playoffs. Bring on the playing games. Bring on meaningful college basketball games where actually NBA games where people play defense.
Yeah,
I'm in
I like
for that.
that.
I'm in for that.
All right, next one here as we move along on big deal, no big deal is an interesting one in the NFL front. Notable free agents still remaining. This is normally the scrap heap time of year for free agency, but there's some quality left on the heap right now. Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Deebo Samuel, Aaron Rodgers, David Njoku, Joey Bosa, Jawan Jennings, Trayvon Diggs, and Russell Wilson all still remain available. Big deal, no big deal. This list of free agents that's still walking the street right now.
Yeah, I mean, some feel like damaged goods at this point in time. Like I want to think Debo's got something left in the tank, but I have my concerns. I have my question marks. Yeah, I just don't know what. There's more than just being fast. There's more than just being athletic, and you can run it and you can catch it. Like I worry about Debo a little bit here. And I worry a little bit about him here. Like now, when he's on the field, I have no reason to ever doubt his skill set. That's not what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But what's the price tag?
Yeah.
And what's Rodgers thinking? It feels like Rodgers is coming back.
Yeah, I think it feels like that. I mean, I think that one's just a waiting game. But some of these other ones, I mean, Jawan Jennings was a 55-catch, 9-touchdown receiver last year, and he's walking the streets.
He just got signed, didn't he?
I don't think so.
No. Packers just traded somebody to the Eagles. Maybe that was
Dontavian Wicks.
Oh, that was Wicks.
Yeah,
that wasn't
Jennings.
Jawan. He's a past Packer. I saw that headline and got confused for a second there. Look, there's some good names out there, but none of those guys are going to sign at this point until after the draft.
After the draft.
And then you're going to see how the draft board falls, see where those gaps are to fill. You know, guys like Kyle Van Noy, he's going to sign with somebody.
Yeah, I mean, the teams will fill needs in the draft, I understand. But guys like, I just don't understand how some of these guys are not even getting a sniff. I mean, Tyreek Hill at one point was one of the best receivers in the NFL. He's not even getting a look right now. So,
is Tyreek even
the injuries? I understand.
Is he even healthy? Is he even out of jail right now? Like I don't even know his status. Like wasn't he hiding in like Abu Dhabi or something? They had to go find him.
That was him. I think that was Antonio Brown.
It was Antonio Brown. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think that was Brown. And Diggs has his legal troubles as well this offseason, but he's unsigned.
Yeah, these guys find ways to get into trouble.
But Debo, no legal troubles, just walking the streets, a free man and a free agent. I don't understand it. I mean, he was pretty productive last year for the Commanders when healthy, and I think that is the thing with him is the injuries.
But they overpaid him. Nobody can sit here and say that was a good deal for the Commanders. That did nothing for them.
They gave a 5th-round pickup.
I know, and they paid him a ton of money.
$20 million. They just took on his deal from San Francisco. It was a 1-year deal. 1-year deals never hurt anybody.
I mean, at 30 years old, you'd think he would find a home by now. He's not that old.
Yeah, he's not that old.
He's only been in the league for 7 seasons. He was drafted in 2019.
Yeah.
So, and it was a 2nd-round draft pick.
All-Pro in 2022, I think, and also.
But are you going to pay him $20 million for 1 year?
I don't think so.
That's what teams are hesitant on.
Well, that's what these players are asking, like Jennings, like Debo, like these.
Well, and they're going to wait and see if they draft a receiver or two or not, or if they have a demand still. If the board falls their way, they might not have to. If not, they might have to look at signing a guy.
If the Commanders don't draft Carnell Tate with their 7th pick, I would like to run it back with Debo. I don't mind him. I think he's a good player. So he remains unsigned, as well as Hill, Diggs, Rodgers, Njoku, Bosa, Jennings, Decker, and Wilson. So those are some notable free agents.
I guess I would lean big deal on some of these names because they are big names.
Yes.
I think the names are a little bit surprising. I'll give you that. I will slightly lean big deal on this one.
All right, here we go. Here's a Masters one we'll go with here as Cam Young fades after getting a 2-shot lead in the final round. And Rory, never shy for the pressure, emerges for his 2nd straight green jacket as he takes down the competition and gets it done. Believably. I mean, I picked him in our fantasy draft not thinking he would win. I was hoping for him to get a top 10 finish, be one of my guys that helps my total money earned. But Rory takes down the whole thing for the 2nd straight year. Pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, look, I think
it's a big deal.
I think the heartbreak that Rory's had over the course of his great longevity of a career.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been the meltdowns. Chasing the Grand Slam with the Masters, finally getting that, and that kind of, made those heartbreaks.
I would say that he was
all in the
reborn.
rear view mirror.
I would say that miss at the U.S. Open, the putt from like 5 feet away that he lost on
At Pinehurst.
I think that truly did reinvigorate him and get him playing his best golf.
I think that's a good point, and I think that's the point I'm trying to make. Is like he's had all these battle wounds from over the years, and then he wins at Augusta last year, and that's going to erase a lot of those battle wounds. Now you never feel 100% better, but you definitely can sleep at night knowing you've got a lifetime exemption, a green jacket hanging in your closet.
That's right.
Rory now, 6 major championship wins, if I'm not mistaken. But to blow a 6-stroke lead after 36 holes, I mean, that would reopen all those wounds, like you mentioned at Pinehurst. And for 10 years, Rory was out there trying to win another major and trying to get back at the Masters from an earlier meltdown in his career. And now he's joining Tiger Woods, Nick Faldo, and Jack Nicklaus as the only men to win back-to-back green jackets.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
I'm not
pretty
even a
big
Rory.
deal.
I'm not even a big Rory guy, but at the same time, you just got to respect what's been done.
I've always said this about Rory. Rory had a perfect swing and an imperfect mind. I always felt like the mental part for Rory, he would have these lapses and loss of focus, but the swing itself was unbelievable.
I was stuck on it until he won the Masters last year. I was stuck on the video footage of him back in the U.S. Open locker room or whatever that was, watching Bryson defeat him from after he missed that terrific putt.
Yep.
And he just walked out, to walk to his GMC Yukon and got in the car and left. And I thought that's just a loser. You don't want to shake the guy's hand that beat you. Like, I just thought that was a bad look for Rory all the way around.
Yeah, everybody reacts their own way.
Yeah.
It's an individual sport. You're
You
your
see
own
these
brand.
gracious winners, though. You see these guys that come in second, and they're following the guy to the 18th tee to shake his hand.
Yeah.
That's not Rory.
It's endearing.
Yeah. It's not Rory, though.
But the cracks in McIlroy's game showed a little bit in that third round. But if he was even in his press conference said, "Hey, if you'd have told me that shooting level par on the weekend would be enough, I wouldn't have believed it." But it was 1 over on Saturday, 1 under on Sunday, and he wins a green jacket.
That's a big deal.
But here's the thing: the guys that were going low, Tyrell Hatton was too far back.
Yeah.
Russell Henley he started the day 5 back.
The hen dog.
Cam Young, starts there in the final pairing tied. He shoots 1 over in the final round. So as much as Rory won it, Cam, you can't play even par on the back 9 at Augusta and win a green jacket.
That's right.
Very often.
You got to separate yourself. And that was not what Cam Young did. So
yeah, I mean, and look, to beat Scotty, who's, now the best player in this era, where Rory might have been the best player in his era. I mean,
Rory was probably the best between Tiger and Scotty. He was probably the bridge. He was the best player for a little bit of time, I feel like.
And he played his whole career lacking one thing, a green jacket.
Now he's got
And then
2.
he wins it, and then he wins the career Grand Slam, and then you kind of answer the question, well, what's next? And he backs it up with another win, and now you wonder how many majors can Rory get to? He's still got some good golf left in him over the next couple of years, and he's got a great chance to repeat again next year. He's going to be one of the horses for the course, no doubt about it. Good stuff. I really enjoyed the Masters. Great finish.
Yeah.
A lot of guys going to the back 9 that could have won that tournament yesterday, and Rory with those birdies on 12 and 13. What a shot on 12.
Yeah.
I mean, hits it to, 10 feet left of the hole there, sinks the birdie putt.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw, when I was at the Masters in 2019, that's where I think Finau was down 1 to Tiger. Tiger hits it, middle of the green, 2 putts for par. Tony hits it in Rays Creek, ends up making, I think, a bogey or a double bogey, and there's not much you can do at that point.
That's right.
You can lose it on 12. And Rory kind of cemented it on 12.
I got one more here. as the illustrious rivalry of Alex Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby etched its 100th meeting. The two have played each other on Sunday, where the Caps won 3-0. The Penguins were assembling by the bench after the game for the kind of send-off handshake, and Ovechkin waved them away. Big deal, no big deal. Potentially the last time we see number 8 on the ice.
Well, this you should
speak for your fandom too, because he was right in the beginning of your fandom. You know, that Stanley Cup final pitted against your team. You know, so you got to see this guy a ton over the last couple years.
And look, Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, this is one of the biggest rivalries the NHL's ever had, right?
It is. It's the two guys that saved hockey after it was locked out in 2004.
Yeah, and
they came back with these two guys, and they were the faces of the league for 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that Ovi waved them off tells me
he's still thinking
the kind of guy that he is. He's like, either I don't want the fanfare or I'm not done yet.
Yeah,
and it could be both.
Could be both.
I don't want the fanfare and I'm not done yet.
Yes, because we've seen the Kings. Anze Kopitar, he had his last game at the Kings Crypto.com arena. He got on the mic, did the whole thank you so much, everything, fans, family, every supporter of the Kings. I've loved you all. He did that whole thing and then got a golden stick from the organization as a send-off token. I just don't think that's Ovechkin.
Super low drama guy, pretty private, just goes about his business.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna say not a big deal because Ovi didn't make it a big deal.
That's right. But some random day in June, like I've been hearing from a lot of people, will be a huge deal.
I mean,
I think he's going to call it quits. I really do think he's going to call it quits.
These are two goats, though, playing against each other, possibly for the final time.
That's right. That's why it was a big deal.
As fans, we like that moment. We like that nostalgia. We like to have that memory. Mm-hmm. And there's some young stars coming in, but remember, I mean, a lot of people in 10, 20 years from now, remember when Sid and Ovi ran the league? They were the NHL superstars. Yeah. They had those rivalry games. I mean,
because I remember as a kid playing NHL 98 on PlayStation 1. And I was like, I wanted to be the Red Wings because they had Sergei Fedorov and Lidstrom and all these superstars up at Pavel Datsyuk, up and down the lineup. And they were the fun team to use in NHL 98. But I can say for all the kids that played NHL, whatever year it is, from 2005 to now, a lot of kids played as Ovi and a lot of kids played as Sid because those were the two most marketable superstars in the league, and they were great ambassadors for the game. So it is very sad.
Let me ask you, was that Ovi's last home game?
I think so.
So they're not mathematically eliminated, are they,
Correct.
from the playoffs?
Not mathematically eliminated. One more Flyers win and they are.
But one final home game. They had Pittsburgh.
Yes.
The NHL's all-time leading scorer. He says he won't make a decision on his future until he talks with family and the team and management during the offseason. Mm-hmm. He's given no hints in post-game interviews or on-ice interviews with reporters. So we really don't know where his headspace is at as far as the future holds.
Yeah. Still 32 goals this year at 41 years old. I mean, the guy's obviously still productive, but I think that he sees the next phase of the organization moving forward with younger players. I think it is time for him to call it quits.
The Ducks have to wait to clinch a playoff berth too after they lost to Vancouver last night.
The Pacific's getting wild. It's getting wild right now.
Yeah, I know. If the Mammoth can get a win and three total a win and an overtime,
magic number's 93 points.
93
for the Mammoth to lock into the wild card one. They've already clinched one of the two wild card spots, but they want to get into that wild card one spot where they'll play the number one team in the Pacific, which is very much in doubt right now in the final couple games.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll go through the playoff scenarios a little bit later on in the show. That's Big Deal, No Big Deal. Only on a Monday, every Monday, brought to you by Coral Canyon Golf Course. We'll be back in a flash. It is The Drive. Hey, we're rolling right along. Hours number one on a Fun Day Monday. What's going on? Postmasters, Rory back to back. Wanted to get into a couple other topics, though, Paulie, other than golf. We spent quite a bit of time there talking about Rory and big deal, no big deal. And obviously, shout out to Rory. And again, if you got in our text fantasy foursome contest, and winners will be announced tomorrow on the show, notified later today. NBA playoffs are set to begin. And for Jazz fans, obviously, we've known for a long time that was not in the cards. The Jazz did secure a tie for fourth best NBA draft lottery odds as the standings have been finalized after they lost to the Lakers yesterday. Would you say the Jazz are positioned well in the NBA draft lottery, Paul? Did they tank good enough this year for your liking?
Yes, I consult for all tanking estimations. I head to tankathon.com. I'm going to sim the lottery 5 times.
Okay.
First pick, Sacramento in the first one.
Okay.
Dallas, the second one.
Okay.
Utah, the third one. Wow. 1 out of 3 so far. Pacers, the fourth one. And the Heat, the fifth one. So it is completely random who's going to end up with that first pick. But in 5 simulations, the Jazz get the first pick once. And they get the second pick once as well. So
the odds to get the number 1 pick, Washington Wizards.
Yeah.
To get the number 1 pick have the best odds.
Yes.
Indiana has the second best odds. The pick, actually, they lose if they fall 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So the Pacers are hoping that top 4 protected stays with the Pacers. Nets have the third best odds, and then it's the Jazz, and the Jazz are top 8 protected as well. And then you got the Kings, the Grizzlies, the Hawks, the Mavericks, the Bulls, and the Bucks. By the way, the Bucks parted ways with Doc Rivers yesterday. So
I would not like it if the Heat got it because they're not very bad. They're 43-39. They don't deserve the number 1 pick. One of these teams that's sub 25 wins needs a jump start to their franchise. The Pacers, the Jazz, the Grizzlies, the Wizards, the Nets, the Kings. Give one of those teams the pick.
yeah.
Specifically in our market, I'd like the Jazz to get it personally. But even though I'm a Wizards fan, I would give up my Wizards getting the number 1 overall pick to see the Jazz prophecy fulfilled.
Jazz, who do they need? Who would be the best fit? This is a loaded lottery. And so obviously it's hard to know exactly who the most likely is to land as the next young star in Salt Lake City because we don't know what pick they have. But Yaxel Lindenborg is a guy that might be a good fit with the Jazz. He's very versatile. Obviously, you'd love A.J. DeBonza if you could get him, but you're going to have the number 1 pick to get him. You'd have to have the number 2 pick if you want Darren Peterson, or third pick if you want Carlos Boozer. If I'm right, that's my guess. After that, then it kind of fluctuates, but there's still some big names there: 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You've got some really big names that had some good NCAA tournaments that are, seeing their draft stock on the rise right now.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a guard line of Acuff, Flemings, Wagler, I should say, plays a little point guard, shooting guard, swingman mix. You got Caleb Wilson, a nice swingman, power forward type. And then you got Boozer, more of a traditional power forward, than AJ and Darren Peterson. I mean, it really is a loaded top of the draft, 100%.
By the way, the WNBA draft is happening in New York City tonight. So you have, I think there's over a dozen prospects that have been invited to the 2026 draft. They'll get all dressed up to the nines, and they'll be walking the WNBA's iconic orange carpet. And it'll happen at the Shed in Hudson Yards. It will air starting at 5 o'clock Mountain Time on ESPN. Dallas Wings hold the top pick. Then it'll be the Minnesota Lynx, followed by the Seattle Storm picking third. So that'll be tonight.
Those are your girls. Seattle Storm.
Yes.
Those are your homies up there.
I guess.
Yeah,
I guess.
You're a fan.
So WNBA draft tonight. NBA regular season has come to a close. And we're off to the playoffs. Reigning champs OKC going in as the top seed in the West. Pistons enter the top seed in the East. Celtics are the East 2 seed. San Antonio second in the West. All four of those teams got to wait for their opponents until after the play-in tournament. So in the West, we know it's the 4 seed Lakers and the 5th seed Rockets. That much we knew after the Jazz lost to the Lakers last night. Denver is the 3rd seed. They will get Minnesota. In the East, we know Cavs will have the Raptors and the Knicks will have the Hawks. Those are the matchups that are set in the playoffs. Any of those wet your whistle, Paulie?
Yeah.
Lakers,
some.
Rockets?
Yeah, there's some good ones.
All right. All right, hour 1 in the books. Hour 2 is coming up when we come back on The Drive. Don't touch that dial.
It's time for the Top 8 at 8 on The Drive, the longest running sports talk show in town.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Hour 2. Are you ready? Paulie, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. Let's go. And it's all brought to you by Soda Weight Loss. And if you're listening right now and thinking, I've tried everything, I want to lose some weight, I want to let go of a few pounds, I get it. A lot of people have been in your shoes. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about Soda Diet and Nutrition, formerly Soda Weight Loss. It's not another generic plan. This is a nutritionist coached weight loss built for your body, your goals. You're not doing the whole calorie counting apps. You're not guessing what to eat. It's simple. It's structured. It's real food with real ingredients from a real grocery store. And the best thing has been the nutritionists, the team of them, and the correspondence I've had. I just finished my first week. My weigh-in is later today. I'll tell you tomorrow, but they say on average women should lose 2 to 3 pounds a week. Men 3, 4, 5 pounds a week. The nice thing this week is I've been full. I've had energy, and it's very structured. And there's over 9,000 reviews to back it up. People are raving about the results. And right now through spring, you join. And what are you waiting for? Do it before this deal is gone. Your partner joins for free. Double the accountability, someone to go through the journey with you, one price. This is not something you stay on forever. This is something you learn for life. So summer's coming. Imagine showing up more confidently, everything fitting a little bit better, get out in the sunshine. This is where it starts. Go to sodadietandnutrition.com. That is SOTA, sodadietandnutrition.com. Or you can give them a call and talk to one of their team members, 866-800-SOTA. That's 866-800-SODA. Join us for a short time to have results that'll last a lifetime. Let's get to the top 8 at 8. Story number 1, Jazz lose. They have the fourth best odds, I should say, in the upcoming draft lottery. That's the next big event for Jazz fans, is how do the ping pong balls bounce for the Utah Jazz. They do lose to the Lakers last night. We saw some things from Ace Bailey, not as many moments as we probably would have liked. Filipowski continues to look better. Yeah. Cody Williams is showing some progressions. You also saw Sensabaugh. Bryce Sensabaugh might have been the most improved player on this year's Jazz roster as far as scoring.
He was solid this year.
Is concerned.
And he's always been a good scorer, but even coming out of Ohio State, his 3-point percentage was high out of college.
Yes.
It's kind of what they've leaned into with him in his pro career as well.
Yep. Over the weekend, story 2, Azusa Pacific came to the Hearst of Bruce, and a kind of a bad beat on the Friday night game. Trailblazers had the bases loaded, deep ball robbed at the fence. Everybody tries to tag up, and everybody was called out and game over.
Oh, wow.
Bases loaded with only 1 out.
Okay.
And did they tag? Did they not tag? Could have been a sweep had they won that game, but they end up losing it. They bounce back to win 12-2, and then they win 9-8 yesterday down there at Bruce Hearst Field. So thrilling shootout win. It was about 75 degrees. Talon Kelly is now Tank, former Snow Canyon Warrior, 6-0, Paulie. 6-0.
I like that.
Record this year on the bump for Utah Tech.
Love to see that from Tank. Story number 4 here, as the Utah Mammoth fell yesterday in Calgary. 4-1. They fall to the Flames. They still sit in that wild card 1 spot. Their magic number to clinch the wild card 1 spot is 93 points. They currently sit at 90. So an overtime loss and 1 more win gets the Mammoth into that coveted wild card 1 spot, where they will face the winner of the Pacific Division, which is much in doubt right now, as all 3 teams jockeying for positioning. As the wild card, I'm taking a look right now, right now in the Pacific, the Vegas Golden Knights lead the way with 91 points after their OT win in Colorado over the weekend. The Edmonton Oilers at 90 and the Anaheim Ducks at 90. It's going to be a race to the finish to see who commands that Pacific Division championship.
And if the Knights, win out, they will not play the Mammoth in the first round. Right?
If the Knights win the Pacific, they most likely will play the Mammoth. That's the way it shakes out.
Okay, so
The Pacific
if
one
the Knights
plays wild card
if Knights take care of business and win 2, Mammoth win their last remaining 2, then they would match up.
We're looking at a potential matchup. And the Knights are in action tonight. They're at T-Mobile Arena taking on the Winnipeg Jets. Vegas currently a big favorite, minus 185 on the money line. So if they take care of business tonight, they could try and almost cement themselves for that Pacific Division title.
So the Knights with that overtime win in Colorado, they did clinch.
Yes, a playoff berth.
Edmonton also clinches over the weekend. Finally, we have some people in the Pacific clinching.
Yes.
Anaheim with the loss to Vancouver did not clinch last night. And the Kings and the Predators are still fighting for that final wild card berth. So Ducks, Kings, Predators look likely with the Mammoth, but somebody's getting left out there.
That's right. There will be not a chair for everybody in the musical chairs of the NHL playoffs. Story number, what are we, 5?
Yeah, you skipped 3 and went to 4, but that's fine. Go to 5.
Okay, I thought we would. All right, really the story number 4 here then. BYU's Alexic Kostic will enter the transfer portal. Agent Ivan Asanin tells Draft Express. Kostic was thrust into a major role with injuries for the Cougars down the stretch and responded with some big outings. The 6'5" Austrian guard hit 37% of his threes on the season. He will be one of the newest entries into the transfer portal. That's 35 minutes ago.
And we could probably do a in-state portal tracker here coming up next segment.
I like that.
And we could go in depth with everybody because if you follow BYU, Utah State, Weber State, SUU, and Utah Tech, which we follow all those teams, we've got exactly who's in, who's out for you. It is a whirlwind right now. The portal has only been open for a week.
Yeah.
And it feels like everybody's in there.
That's right.
It really does. Everybody wants to see what their market value is, open up their recruiting.
Doesn't mean like
again.
It doesn't mean like you've said and you've maintained that these guys could come back if there isn't better and greener grass pastures out there for them.
If you're wanted back, but you would have to be wanted back, and there's a number of these guys that I gotta believe coaches would want back.
Yes, I think a lot of the guys entering the portal specifically for BYU would be wanted back by Kevin Young. So
Are you talking about Rob Wright III?
Talking about Rob Wright III, talking about some of the younger guys, Diamande's in the portal, Kostic, this one that just entered. I mean, I don't love losing your whole team every year. So for me, if I'm Kevin Young, I want some retention. Kennard Davis is in the portal. I mean, basically the entire starting lineup, and AJ will go to the NBA. So this will be a completely new roster playing on the court next year. All 5 new starters, most likely. Colin Chandler, there's story number 5, yes. I mentioned that last week, that Kentucky shooting guard Colin Chandler was hot to BYU. And he tweeted, "I'm coming home," as he is back to BYU. In a statement, he says, in his letter to Kentucky, he says, "You will always be family to me. I am returning home and excited for the work and challenges ahead." That was pre-commitment. So everyone kind of lined up the stars and said, okay, coming home. He's a Utah guy. And shortly after, commits to BYU. So Colin Chandler, the 6'5" shooting guard from Kentucky, also averaged 9.8 points per game as a sophomore. So pretty good score.
Shot
shooter.
41% from 3.
Yeah, a good shooter for sure. So BYU gets one, even though they've lost a lot in the portal. They get one in Colin Chandler.
Farmington High School, 4-star.
Yes.
Going
Followed Pope out there
to BYU.
He was committed to BYU with Pope, and then Pope leaves to Kentucky. He follows Pope.
Well, but there was 2 years in between there. He was out on a mission, right?
Yeah.
He committed in 2021 to BYU.
To Pope.
Correct.
So he followed Pope to Kentucky. My statement stands.
Yeah. Yeah, but there was 1,600 days in between.
I get it. He could have decommitted and gone somewhere else during that, like a lot of these mission kids do.
Yeah.
So
made the Sweet 16 2 years ago, made the round of 32 this year. Got to play in some tournament games for the Wildcats. More on Colin Chandler coming up in just a minute. Let's finish up with a couple of headlines. Let's go to the Masters. If you're just tuning in, you didn't get to watch the coverage over the weekend. Rory didn't make it easy, but found a way. He wins 12 under par, the winning score, after he bogeyed the 18th. and he wins by 1 over Scotty Scheffler, who shot 65 and 68 on the weekend to get back in the mix after a horrible second round where Scotty shot 74.
Yeah.
And had some really loose shots, hit in the water a couple times, took some penalties. Tied for third at 10 under was Tyrell Hatton, Russell Henley, Justin Rose, and Cam Young. The 9 under is Morikawa, Sam Burns. And then how about Homa and Shoffley tied 9th there at 8 under, and tied 11th was solo 11th was Jake Nap. So there you go. There's a leaderboard look at the 90th edition of the Masters. And just a reminder, if you texted in your fantasy foursome, we'll finish scoring all those out and we'll announce the winners. We'll message you and we'll announce them live on the show tomorrow. We didn't get through them all before showtime this morning with everything just wrapping up last night.
I got a bonus ball here.
Well, we're at 7, so you can go ahead and do it.
Okay. All right. The Utah Grizzlies moved to Utah in 1995, and they played their final game 3 decades later, and thousands of others and fans were there to see the Grizzlies bid farewell. They played their final game, losing 5-4 in overtime to the Rapid City Rush after completing a 3-goal comeback with 1:21 left in the third period. They'll suit up next season in Trenton, New Jersey, as the Trenton Ironhawks.
Yep. And look, pretty affordable hockey.
Yeah.
But a lot of these, lower tiered teams don't compete in the same market as an NHL team. You need a secondary market. There's only so many hockey fans to go around.
That's right.
And it's a more affordable option than going to the NHL games.
I've had some friends that have done the Henderson Silver Knights since they've made their way out there to Henderson, the Dollar
which
Loan
is rare.
Center,
Which is
called.
rare that they're still doing it there.
Yeah, and they're successful. I mean, I think they
bigger market. Well, about 3 million, 4 million in Vegas, probably about 3-4 million in the Wasatch Front, if all things considered. So similar sized markets.
Similar, but more of a condensed area with Vegas. Not as much surface area between the area. So I think that the Grizzlies had to, when the Mammoth came, that pretty much spelled the end for the Grizzlies, I thought.
NBA 2026 playoffs. Suns will host the Blazers for the 7th seed in the West. That'll tip off tomorrow night. Winner will advance to challenge the Spurs in the first round. In Tuesday's other contest, Charlotte will host the Miami Heat for the chance to play for the 8th seed on Friday. The action will then continue Wednesday. 2 more games. Magic get the 76ers for the East 7th seed. Winner would take on the Boston Celtics in the first round. Loser would play the winner of Tuesday's contest between the Hornets and the Heat. In the West, Clippers host the Golden State Warriors for a shot to play the loser of Tuesday's game between the Suns and the Blazers. The other big NBA headline, Bucks coach Doc Rivers out. Bucks are looking for new leadership, according to Shams. He is no longer Milwaukee's head coach. He might still have an advisory role next season. Bucks were 97 and 103 during his tenure as head coach, and he was just named a member of this year's Basketball Hall of Fame last week. One other headline, Ty Gibbs wins at Bristol. Ty Gibbs takes home the checkered flag in the Food City 500 from Bristol Motor Speedway.
Bristol.
The 54 car held off Ryan Blaney in a green-white checkered overtime to secure the victory. Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe round out the top 5 from out in Tennessee. They'll head to Kansas Speedway next Sunday for the Advent Health 400. All right, we'll take a break. Oh, one more bonus ball for you, Paulie. You appreciate this. The Denver men's hockey team won their 3rd national championship in 5 seasons.
How about those fellas?
They beat Wisconsin 2-1 down in Vegas on Saturday. Weren't you talking about going down to that?
I was. My application got denied.
It
was, and rightly so. Tara sent a video of the building there. It was completely full. It was a full house for that final against Denver and Wisconsin.
Yeah. I think the Denver goalie was Johnny Hicks, named the Frozen Four most outstanding player after he stopped 78 of 82 shots he faced, including 30 out of 31 saves in the championship game.
Peppered. Good for that fella.
Yeah.
Big game.
Yep, 2-1, Denver University. That's your top 8 today. We'll take a break when we come back. Let's stay with the portal. Let's talk about Colin Chandler. I want to go a little bit more in depth what that means for BYU, and we'll run down all the portal commits for the state and who's going out the door. A lot more going out the door right now than coming in the door in the state of Utah when it pertains to college basketball. This is The Drive. Stay with us from the Finley Hyundai Studios. I'm glad you're with us. Show today presented by our friends at Zag. Don't zig, just Zag. Get in there. 2 St. George locations, Boulevard Commons, Dinosaur Crossing, and up there in Cedar City. And you can always get, if you break your phone, if you crack your screen, please put the screen protector on. You won't do that. It'll protect your phone. But if you do, mention the show. They'll give you $20 off any phone repair. They can fix your phone. You don't have to go buy a new one for thousands of dollars. Devin and Paulie hanging out here on hour 2 of a Monday Fun Day. We love our Mondays. We've covered a lot today, but I want to go a little bit more into the college basketball realm, and I want to go team by team. Paulie, there is so many thousands of men's college basketball players that are in the portal, and it isn't slowing down. I think the portal is open till, what is it, 2 weeks from last? So there's a 15-day window, so it goes through the 21st. Okay, so free agency goes all the way, that 15-day window that opened right after the national championship game last Monday, and goes all the way through April 21st. So you've got every college basketball coach, general manager, and every player evaluating their situation. And it's free agency in college basketball. And teams are not required to leave when they enter the portal. We saw already Utah State's Carson Templin announce he was going in the portal. And then a guy that averaged 8.8 points, 4.0 rebounds, shot 51.8%, came to an agreement and returned to the Utah State Aggies. So let's start with those Utah State Aggies. Adlin Elamine, who's a great freshman, I think that's a huge loss if they do lose him. I have not seen him sign anywhere, but he's in the portal.
Yeah.
Elijah Perryman is in the portal. Jordy Barnes, David Oezy. He's announced he's going to Cincinnati. Tucker Anderson, he is signed.
Jordy Barnes committed to Utah Valley this morning.
Barnes to Utah Valley. That's a recent development.
Mm-hmm.
And Tucker Anderson to Central Arkansas. So they know Falslove's back, Templin's back. They're still waiting on some of these other guys, but they have lost a couple guys there. So Utah State with coaching change again. Maybe you could argue some of the core still together, but definitely going to take their lumps in the portal, it sounds like, this year.
Yes, I think they're going to lose some guys, but they're also going to get some guys. They're going to get some Jacobson guys from UNI. I thought they had a few visiting that I saw on Twitter just the other day.
There's that Schweigler guy that's 6'8", it's trying to get an extra year, kind of like what Ethan Potter is trying to do, get an extra year for Utah Tech. And they put their name in the portal, and if they get granted the extra year, he's a guy that could follow his coach and come to Utah State 100%.
That's right. The biggest loss for Utah State in the portal right now is MJ Collins. Despite Elamine's really nice ending to the season, I would still say that MJ Collins is their biggest loss if he decides to move on. So
is he in the portal?
He is in the portal.
Okay.
Yep.
So that would be a huge loss, no question about it. BYU, Rob Wright again is in the portal. Diamonde's in the portal. Xavier Staten out of Vegas, he's in the portal. Kennard Davis, Tyler Mruss, KJ Perry, and the latest via Instagram, Abdul Ahmed, just I think yesterday announced he was going into the portal. And the big incoming name from Kentucky, former Farmington local product Colin Chandler, coming to BYU.
Yeah. So Diamonde's committed to Pitt. Xavier Staten's going to Oregon State. So those two are out of the portal officially as of yesterday. Kennard Davis is considering coming back, I'm hearing, but there's good money for a three-point shooter in the portal. There always is. Rob Wright, the leader, per Jeff Goodman, is Kentucky. So BYU is in the running. He says that there is a chance of a reunion at BYU, but the current leader after his visit this past weekend is Kentucky for Rob Wright.
Do you think that he wanted more money? Is it that simple? Yep. Rob didn't get the offer he thought he was going to get from BYU. So
he's a typical portal pirate. Baylor, BYU, Kentucky. Every step he made there, he's going up in dollars. So
he said after the tournament, the only place I want to play at is BYU.
Yes.
That looms large in Cougars' minds. That resonates.
Yeah.
And now doesn't look to indeed be true.
Looks like lip service.
Unless he comes back. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He is not signed yet, to our knowledge, this morning anywhere.
That's right. Not signed, but when Goodman's putting out a leader, that's pretty
There's
bad
some
news.
smoke.
Yeah.
There's some smoke. All right. Utah. Lost
Everybody.
Terrence Brown.
Yeah.
Lost
everybody.
Dawes, Traore, Josh Hayes, Alvin Jackson, Ducky Howard, Elijah Chapa Moore. All these guys gone. And I haven't seen Utah, grab anybody yet. Paulie, have you?
I have heard a lot of smoke about Jackson Holcomb being at BYU or at Utah.
That's not official yet, is it?
It's not a commitment, but neither was Chandler a week ago.
True.
So this is I'm hearing the same things. Holcomb is going to make the move up from UVU to
More
Utah.
NIL money.
More NIL, and he's played his fair share of years at UVU. So time for him to, in his mind, to explore what he can get. Tyler Hendricks, obviously Taylor's brother, in the portal for UVU. Leon Hart joined Holcomb. So those are the three big names, and then AJ Riggs round out the foursome in the portal for Utah Valley. And I'm hearing Holcomb may be done to Utah sometime this week. So we'll see.
SUU, Tanner Hayhurst. They haven't ruled out the possibility of him coming back, but he is in the portal.
Yeah.
Elijah Duvall. They have some bigs that they would like to get another year of eligibility out of if they could as well. But Langston Benz, Jalen Lee, Lorenzo Abelard, Dylan Jones, and Chucks Isutua are all in the portal. Now, they have signed Dylan Sanders, a guard from CSU Pueblo.
Yeah.
And Anthony Breland, a guard from Miami-Dade College, which is a JUCO a really good JUCO down in Florida.
That's a good JUCO for sure. I've heard of them.
But the big loss is Elijah Duvall.
Yeah, who Wilmington, Delaware native. I'm going to see what the latest on him is. Let's see here. I had heard he was taking some visits back
He's
east.
going to get some interest. He was a sensational freshman, WAC freshman honors this year.
Freshman of the year.
He's kind of, on the map now with a lot of upside.
Yeah. Sam Kaiser. This is January 31st. Elijah Duvall has told me these programs are reaching out the most. Arkansas, LSU, Clemson, Houston, Dayton, Georgia Tech, and Marshall. So he's getting some real interest.
A lot bigger schools, unfortunately, hard to think SUU. I'm sure they put together some compelling type of offer, but it's probably not going to be. It's going to be pale in comparison to what some of these bigger schools can manufacture financially.
Most likely, yeah. It really is a tough beat right now to be in a mid-major school.
It's tough.
Yeah.
And there was no Cinderella stories really to speak of in the NCAA tournament yet again.
No, not really.
And
Texas was the lowest seeded team to make the Sweet 16, and we all know Texas's athletic budget.
High Point was the only double-digit seed to really be a mid-major that actually did anything and won a game in the tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas was a double-digit seed, but they're from the SEC conference.
That's right.
Weber State's losing everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 outgoing portal names for the Weebcats.
That hurts.
Including Tijon Sane Jr., Jace Whiting, David Hand, all these guys into the portal, and I haven't seen Weber State. A lot of times these guys are going to hold out for the big D1s, and if they don't get signed, then that's when the mid-majors can swoop in and sign some guys. And then there's Utah Tech. And I think the two that I'm bummed the most about, Chance Trujillo and Tanner Davis. You had a redshirt sophomore and a true freshman there that you'd love to have back.
Yeah.
Belonga came from St. Bonaventure. He's long, athletic. You'd love to have him back too, but he's in the portal. Potter's only in the portal because he's trying to get another year of eligibility.
Sure.
Marvell Allen, we never saw play, so hard to say we missed him. We never saw him. Although there's some talent there when healthy.
Yeah, there's some talent there. For
really
sure.
big talent there. High school teammates with some big names like Cooper Flagg.
Yes. Just a year ago, we were seeing the posts. I'm pulling up one from just a year ago. Utah Tech guard Marvell Allen will be entering the transfer. Oh, this is from this year. Will be entering the transfer portal. The former 4-star recruit is set to explore new opportunities. That's what's being reported. But, I don't know what his offerings will be in the portal, what he'll get. I mean, this is a guy that hasn't played basketball in 3 years, two and a half years.
And signing day for a lot of our high school basketball players, I believe, is like Wednesday. This Wednesday.
Wow.
I know Colin Simmons from Dixie's going to be signing on Wednesday. I got the invite down to the press conference on Wednesday. So I think we're going to see a lot of our high school Region 9 kids probably go JUCO route just because of the transfer portal. You're only bringing in a freshman or two here and there.
You got to be a highly ranked kid.
Yeah, you're building through the portal. And that's just the way college basketball has trended.
So now you got to start at a different level. You know, the JUCO route is a way that a lot of guys are going to have to go now because of you can get a ready-made shooting guard, center, power forward just by making one phone call now. So it makes it tough on the high school recruits for sure.
Yeah, so lot of uncertainty right now in the state of Utah when it comes to college basketball.
Yep.
And we haven't even seen a lot of the dominoes fall just yet. You wonder, does Tanner Davis end up at Utah Valley? Does he want to go back up to Cache Valley? Is Utah State interested? And we saw Sean Feltz, former Crimson Cliffs big man, on an official visit over the weekend up at Utah State. And I saw, Faltzlev and a lot of people, resharing those posts. He also went out to Ole Miss on an official visit as well.
Nice.
I'm not sure if BYU has invited him for an official, but Sean Feltz is 6'11". And he went to the Snow College for the last couple of years. I know Jordy Roberts is transferring to Salt Lake Community College. I think Boston Harker also. Hunter Shank signed at Salt Lake Community College. He was one of the Utah Tech guys in the portal that has actually signed.
Wow.
The big name that I hope stays, and I have not seen his name listed anywhere in the portal. The best of my knowledge, Madiba Owona is not in the portal right now, but he's coming off the ACL, so maybe they get him back for one more year because it's going to be a 9-month recovery. That happened in the Santa Clara game, which was in December.
When you look at the top JUCO players, Feltz comes in top 20 in the country, number 19 player in the JUCO recruiting top 100. So he is going to be desirable, I think.
Yep. Utah Tech has signed the kid from Valpo. That was Mark Brown that was at Snow, went to Valpo. Now he's coming to Utah Tech, originally from the Phoenix area.
Yes, went to Bella Vista Prep, one of the better prep schools in the country.
So we'll keep an eye on the local front when it comes to college basketball because this is kind of big for building rosters the next couple of weeks here through the 21st, where you're trying to, get guys committed in the recruiting dash. Speed dating, we like to call it around here. You're trying to find out if it's a good fit instantly and pony up to see if they want to come play for you. So a lot of coaches really busy now through April 21st at the college basketball level. Anything else to add?
I don't think so. I think that's a pretty good summary of the portal and where it stands right now. So,
Colin Chandler, the big name. How excited should BYU fans be right now?
Pretty excited.
And what does that mean for Mark Pope at Kentucky? Losing a Utah kid like this.
Yeah. I think a lot of people jumping off the ship a little bit. Kentucky's a high-pressure job. I am sure Pope's feeling the heat after losing early in the tournament once again. Maybe Chandler just sees that BYU is, despite their early exit from the tournament, they're trending up as a program. So next year could be the year for them with this Branch and Chandler and some of the pieces they're going to sure get in the portal. I think they're going to be a team that's going to be a threat every year, and maybe Chandler sees that Kentucky is kind of a sinking ship right now.
So after 2 years at Kentucky, he was on the LDS mission. He was in, I think, London, England, when going out on his mission, he had originally committed to BYU. He flip-flops, follows Pope to Kentucky. He was the Utah Gatorade Player of the Year at Farmington High School. 30 games as a freshman, but really this year kind of blossomed, averaged 9.7 points per game, 43% shooting, including 41% from the three-point line, played 27 minutes a game. Was their leading steal guy defensively.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good defensive player.
So
good overall player.
The post on Instagram last week was thanking Kentucky and said, "I'm coming home." coming home.
Yeah.
All right, got to take a break. Rolling through hour 2 on a Monday. Thanks for locking us in and loading us up. Show today brought to you by our friends at Prime IV. Prime IV has the Allergy Buster going on right now. Get on down there, and if you've been, the wind, the grass, the golf course, which does it for me, if your allergies are hitting hard this season, that constant sneezing, the itchy eyes, all that congestion, and maybe you're just feeling tired and drained, it can do it to you. It's annoying. It can throw off your energy, your focus for days and days. And you could actually support your body from the inside out and go to Prime IV Hydration Wellness. They've got the spring special Allergy Buster added to any IV for just $69, triple dose of vitamin C, plus a vitamin D injection to help your immune system and help you get through allergy season. Now, if you don't get allergies, you can add the Energizer Bunny add-on this month. Double taurine, amino blend, plus a B12 injection to help you feel more refreshed and recharged. So head on down there this month in April to Prime IV. Go to the website, primivstg.com, and start feeling like your old self again. It's The Drive, back in a flash. This Devin, Dixon, Paul Ratliff. We've got 20 minutes left of showtime on a Monday. The big topic today has been the Masters, and of course, Rory McIlroy getting it done, putting on another green jacket, and of course, going back to back, and obviously doing a heck of a job. Unbelievable run for Rory McIlroy. Unbelievable. He's been absolutely drilled for not winning the other major. And I got to give Paulie credit. Paulie had Rory McIlroy in his pick'em there. Paulie, what were the picks again? You had Rory, Patrick Reed, and I'm trying to think who else you had on your team. A bunch of guys there on the top 10. And for a guy that doesn't actually profess his golf prowess, he kicked our trash. I had Cam Young. I thought Cam was kind of a horse for the course in this tournament. And then I had Scotty Scheffler. Hey, Scotty made things interesting on the weekend. And that's all I wanted, was going to the back nine on Sunday with multiple guys that can win it. And you had 5-6 guys going to the back nine that could have put the green jacket on. And at the end of the day, Rory McIlroy was the one that slipped it on Fred Ridley, the commissioner. You can't put the jacket on yourself. And so that had to be an unbelievable good feeling. Again, joining Jack Nicklaus, Nick Faldo, and Tiger Woods as the other back-to-back winners. Can he go for the three-peat? People are going to ask that question today. Can Rory go and win a third consecutive green jacket? Everybody wants this tournament. This is the one everybody's searching for. And if you ask, hundreds of professional golfers, hey, which tournament is the biggest for you? Yeah, some guys are going to say the Open Championship. Others, our national championship. There's going to be a few that say the U.S. Open, but largely, I think most of the people out there would say the Masters is the pinnacle of golf. That is the one major championship that everybody wants. And so long, Rory was searching for the career Grand Slam and couldn't find it. Was it almost 15 years until last year he punched through? And now to go back to back with that swing and get the monkey off his back yet again and get a sixth major, simply incredible. Incredible for Rory McIlroy, his team, his family, great champion. His champion dinner looked really, really tasty as well. Oh my goodness. That looked phenomenal. And man, I don't know if there's a better app or website than masters.com. I mean, you can go into the Masters Vault. You got the old-fashioned leaderboard. You can do fantasy. You can see every angle from the whole Masters, every hole out. You can relive the moments through it all. That website, for a golf fan, might be the greatest website ever made. I'm saying I spent so much time on masters.com Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even Sunday, to the point Sunday, my phone died. My phone literally died. And I had to reboot and get the charger out about 5 o'clock. It wasn't even, I don't know, 5 o'clock, 4:30. My phone was dying. My wife's trying to get a hold of me, and it's like, my phone was dying. I didn't have a charger. Sorry, because I was watching so much Masters coverage. Again, thanks to everybody that entered on our fantasy foursome. We will get all those double checked, tallied up, and then we will announce the prizes tomorrow on the show. We'll shoot everybody a text, let you know when your prizes are ready to pick up. We had a free membership to the brand new Rev Golf Tour for first place. We had either a wedge or a round of golf for second, and $100 off a membership for third. So we had some really cool prizes, and we will announce those and make those official a little later today and award them and give some love to our great listeners on the show tomorrow. So stay tuned for that if you're one of the people that entered. It was really easy to enter. We only did it, last Wednesday. It was really one day, just a quick little fun contest. Hopefully you had fun watching the Masters like I did. And now we've got a little time off till the PGA next month, the U.S. Open Father's Day weekend in June, the Open Championship in July. I've already taking a look at the Open Championship 2027. That's going to be back at the old course at St. Andrews. I think that would be unbelievable to get out to that one and see that tournament at that famous course. So major champion, all the scars, all the shortfalls, all the so closes for Rory. He's got to be feeling really, really good the way he swings it to get back-to-back green jackets. Whew. Unbelievable stuff. Wins by 1 over Scotty Scheffler. Wins by 2 over Cam Young, Justin Rose, Russell Henry, and Tyrrell Hatton. Hatton had posted 10 earlier, and I didn't think it was going to be enough. And you thought that it was going to be either Rose, Young, Scheffler, or Henley that really had a chance there on the back 9, and nobody really could just make that move. I mean, Scheffler and Henley shot 4 under, good final round. Rose shot 2 under, so he didn't choke. Cam Young shot 1 over. If there's a guy that struggled in that final round, playing alongside Rory in the final group, I mean, he parred his last 9 holes on the back 9. And with those 2 par 5s on 13 and 15, he just needed to make birdies. He birdies the 2 par 5s. He's in a playoff. He just couldn't get it done. Just could not get it done. I love the Masters. It's so exciting to talk about it on Monday, but it's also so depressing. You think we got to wait till next April again for another edition of the Masters. Remember that COVID year? We got the Masters in the fall, and then we got it again in the spring. I almost wish we had 2 Masters a year, but that would take away from how big of a moment it is. All right, final break. Back in a flash. Get you ready for the day in sports. It is The Drive.
Coral Canyon Golf Course invites you out to play your next round, featuring the best backdrop in southern Utah with breathtaking views, perfectly manicured tee boxes, fairways, and greens. Get out and experience great golf for a great price at Coral Canyon. Visit coralcanyongolf.com or call 435-680-1700 for tee times.
Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Kanab is open daily for free family fun. Take a tour, volunteer, hike a trail, or bring home a new best friend. Visit Best Friends today for magical memories that'll last forever, or learn more at bestfriends.org.
Appliance Wholesalers Plus are the playmakers in the appliance business. Need new appliances? Then stop by their showroom and save money and buy right from the distributors at AWP. They're open to the public across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart. And stay tuned for the AWP Playmaker of the Game.
Fabulous Freddy's always keeps your car fabulous. Only full-service car wash in town. Voted best of Southern Utah. Stop by Bluff or River Road for detail services like shampoos or waxes. Don't forget, with every wash, get 10 cents off per gallon of gas at Fabulous Freddy's.
Thanks for waking up with us. We are gonna sell out on sports.
Wall to wall and still ain't sold out.
It's The Drive, live on The Fan.
We are back. It is The Drive. What's going on? How you doing? We're animated. We're fired up. Paulie's back.
Yeah.
And final segment
Had
on
to
a
do
Monday.
a little restroom stop that could not wait. So we're back.
Let's go. Let's go. Tonight in sports.
Yeah.
It's tough for me after the Masters because tonight might be a good night to go to the movies. NBA playoffs, the playing games don't start till tomorrow, but you do have some very meaningful hockey games left on the docket here.
That's right.
The regular season in the NBA wraps up, but not so fast for hockey. Most teams still have 2 games remaining.
Yeah.
And they're big.
Huge. I mean, playoff seeding's not completely set in the West or the East yet. Still some movement to be had, and looking forward to seeing some teams make their final pushes. I'm hoping my team is one of them, right on the outside looking in right now, and the Knights looking close to clinching the Pacific with a couple more W's, and the Mammoth waiting anxiously to see if they can get that wild card 1 spot. So a lot in flux, a lot left to be figured out, but we will figure it all out in the next couple days.
Mammoth did lose to the Flames last night, 4-1. And Ducks, the other big loss in the West, as they lost to the Canucks in overtime, 4-3. You mentioned the Caps beating the Penguins. That has to feel good for Ovi, though, because that's been the rival forever. And was it the last game against the Penguins? We don't know. We'll have to wait, and we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Knights are on the ice tonight. And is it out of the question to think that the Knights and Mammoth could play in the first round? And does that excite you or does that scare you if the Knights and the Mammoth match up in the first round? I kind of want them to dodge each other, to be honest with you, in the first round.
Yeah, I think that it's a good thing for the area. You know, you'll have an I-15 playoff series up and down. You know, you can have local fans at both sites. You know, Mammoth fans invading T-Mobile, Knights fans invading Delta Center. I think it would make for a really good budding rivalry between the two, even though they're not in the same division. They don't play each other a ton, but I think if they could get that local regional rivalry going in the playoffs, I think is the best place to start it. So this should be really fun if it works out.
Yeah, going to be exciting. So tune in for the stretch run. They're going to have the NHL awards. Who's going to be the MVP? A lot of people think Kucherov is going to be the MVP.
McKinnon, maybe. There's a lot of guys up there near the top.
The Ted Lindsay Award, all the different awards, the Hart Memorial Trophy, all those voters probably had to have those votes in here soon, if not already.
Yeah.
Celebrini's had an unbelievable season out there for the Sharks, and it's gonna be fun. I can't wait for some playoff hockey.
Yeah, me
because
too.
Regular season hockey just takes the cake for me as far as intensity, and then they just ratchet up 9 or 10 more notches in the playoffs.
Sure, it's gonna make for a really fun tournament or playoffs, I should say.
Are you like me? Do you want Knights and Mammoth to miss each other in the first round?
I think I want it.
You want it?
Yeah.
You want to see that matchup?
Yeah, I do.
All right, we'll see what happens. We got just a couple regular season games left. Show today brought to you by One Health St. George. Zag, Finley Hyundai, Coral Canyon Golf Course, our friends at Prime IV, of course, our friends at Soda Weight Loss, Soda Diet and Nutrition. We've got some great sponsors. TDS. Keep those Jimmy John's highlights coming in. We'll announce our Masters winners tomorrow, and we will see you then. Thanks for joining Paulie and I on The Drive.